It wasn't much of a breeze by Kansas standards. Back there it sometimes seemed no more than a dozen trees and a handful of fence posts slowed its passage back and forth between the Gulf and the Arctic Ocean. Here, there were mountains. Even now, inside the city, he could make out the jagged bite they took out of the night sky. He headed toward the sounds and the lights. Low voices, chanting, drums, rattles. He stepped through a gate and into a different world. Ahead of him was a church, open at the front, and facing a plaza. A host of crosses and dark-skinned people filled the space. Dim electric lights failed to match the illumination from roaring fires. 2 processions, one of men, one of women, approached a cross. Around that cross, a horde of demons fought a confused battle. White-faced creatures with great ears and short horns battled beasts in Halloween-like masks. They all wore belts of rattles that made more noise than the cap guns they fired at each other. They cut and thrust and parried with wooden swords and daggers, too. It was wonderful. It was everything Mad Dog had hoped for. Everything his niece, Heather, had promised. "Whoa," Mad Dog whispered. Someone grabbed his arm and swung him around. "Brujo," the man hissed. "Why are you here?" "My name's not Brujo," Mad Dog said, "and take your hand off me." "You cannot bring your evil to this holy place." "What evil?" Mad Dog took the man's thumb and bent it back. The stranger, a compact, dark-skinned man with long braided hair and a beaded headband, lost his grip, but he hissed that name again, "Brujo!" and swung at Mad Dog's face with his other hand. Mad Dog slipped the blow, but the man got hold of Mad Dog's medicine pouch and tore it from his throat. There were precious things in there. Ochre from the Cheyenne sacred mountain, a strand of hair from the girl who loved him, a tiny diamond his mother had worn in one of her ears. Haley was suddenly there, her mouth on the man's hand, just holding it so far, as she growled her threat to make further use of sharp teeth. "What's going on here?" Another man joined them in the shadows by the gate. This one also had dark skin and high cheekbones, though his military-style short black hair was sprinkled with silver. He was in uniform, and he kept one hand on the butt of his service revolver. "This man attacked me!" It took Mad Dog a moment to realize that the right explanation had been offered, but by the wrong person. "He tried to steal my medicine pouch, and his dog bit me." Mad Dog shook his head. "That's not true. It was the other way around. He's got my pouch right there in his hand." "Just look at him," Mad Dog's accuser said. "You think some gringo is going to own a medicine pouch?" "I'm Cheyenne," Mad Dog said. The cop seemed doubtful. Mad Dog knew he looked about as white as possible. He was big and broad and bald. Bald because when he tried to grow hair long enough for braids, it had come in with the kind of curls some women paid small fortunes to achieve. And light brown, or at least it used to be. It was more likely gray by now. He couldn't tell for sure because he shaved his head at least once every day. "I think you better take your dog and go," the cop said. "Dogs aren't allowed." "What dog?" Mad Dog said. Haley had done another disappearing act. The moment the cop arrived, she'd faded into the night. "I can tell you what's in that medicine pouch," Mad Dog added. "This guy can't because it's not his." "Not true," the man with the braid said. "But it can't be opened. It's sacred, a holy thing. Open it and you'll ruin it." The cop put out his hand. "Give it to me. Then both of you follow me. We're going to step out in the street under that lamp over there, where we have some light so I can figure out what to do with you." "But," Mad Dog began. "We're going to stop creating a disturbance, gentlemen. This is a sacred ceremony." He put a hand on both their arms and escorted them through the exit. "I just drove 1,000 miles to see this," Mad Dog protested. "Good for you. And maybe you can still watch it after we—" The officer stopped, a surprised look on his face as he glanced down at the knife handle that suddenly protruded from his chest. He gurgled.